Welcome back to New Rockstars. Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars are finally moving forward, with Deadpool and Wolverine director Shawn Levy confirmed to have been approached to direct the next Avengers film, with reports as many 60 MCU characters could be returning for this event, and Robert Downey Jr. even admitting this week that he's open to returning as Iron Man. We gotta know, is Marvel just desperate to lock down a director who can handle a project this big, or is Deadpool and Wolverine that undeniably good? Hey, hope you're ready for Taika Waititi improv, because Shawn Levy loved it in Free Guy.
Taika Waititi takes an already funny script and is riffing on a level that is freaking sublime.
I watched it and I was like, oh, he is exaggerating. He went, how does a man come into a screen and say things that's not on the script, but is so much better than what I wrote? That's what he said. I was like, settle down, Shawn. I think Taika's fine.
It's so funny to see him going so hard and promoting Taika for that movie, because that, I think, is the movie where everyone's just like, I think we've had enough of his bullshit in movies.
I liked Free Guy a lot. I thought it was much more funnier than I was expecting, but I was also like, please, I think I've seen insane improv and then I've seen this. This is the sneak peek, the weekly show of New Rockstars, where we look ahead of the future of fandom. I'm Jessica Clemons. Here with me today, or well, here with me all the time, forever and for always, is Erik Voss.
I can't escape, and I don't want to escape. For better or worse, Shawn Levy is going to be controlling all of our IP for the next 4 years
Good for
or
him.
so.
Go off, I guess.
Good for him. He seems like a really nice guy. He's been working in this industry for a long time, and he's been like a kingmaker for the past 10 years. So it kind of makes sense.
And he's also friends with literally every single person. So it's like, that helps. Not in like a nepotism way, but like, oh, if you're good to work with, yeah, they're gonna probably hire you for more things. It's easy for him to communicate.
I think that is exactly the reason, Jess, why he's being approached, is because he has these relationships with everyone. And ultimately, the way Marvel's putting this project together, it's not so much does someone have a fresh narrative take on how they want to do Secret Wars and Avengers 5? It's someone capable of working with this many egos. All right, let's talk about the news that broke on Tuesday afternoon. And it was fascinating because within minutes of each other, both Deadline and The Hollywood Reporter both ran with what they said was an exclusive scoop, which tells us something we'll talk about in a second. But we'll start with Deadline because they finished by a hair just ahead of The Hollywood Reporter. They said, quote, with Deadpool and Wolverine set to save summer, Shawn Levy tops list to direct Marvel's next Avengers movie, The Dish. This was by Mike Fleming Jr. and Justin Knoll. Deadline hears that Levy has been given the latest script by Michael Waldron, though sources add that he has not given an answer on whether he will take the job, and the studio is still planning to meet with other directors while they wait on a decision from him. Marvel Studios could not be reached for comment. Levy is expected to be heavily involved with Stranger Things' final season as a director and executive producer. Levy also slated for a Star Wars movie. Marvel wants to begin shooting next year. Script for Michael Waldron is reportedly in, and they say that sources close to both the project say more than 60 MCU characters could reprise their roles, including everyone from Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, and Benedict Cumberbatch to Tom Hiddleston, Simu Liu, and Karen Gillan. Unlike the first 4 films in which there was a core group that consisted of Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Hemsworth, and Ruffalo, many of the characters in this film could have equal footing, making it more of an ensemble feature instead of a handful of characters leading the team. The 2012 Avengers was still an ensemble movie. Like, more than 3 people is an ensemble. I guess they're referring to Avengers Endgame, how there was like the central 6, and then they were kind of calling the shots. I feel like Rocket was as big of a character to Avengers Endgame as Black Widow was.
Black Widow died.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Rocket had like more screen time and like had more to do with like the coordination. It was more of a Nebula Gamora story than it was a Black Widow story.
Well, it depends, I guess, on who you're paying attention to, because it still felt like they were the second string to the main core. It's hard when you have your core audience from like the first Avengers movie that are still somehow the ones that get to survive in Endgame. Because I was like, they all somehow survived. I was like, the only new people are Nebula and Rocket. I was like, that's kind of not fair.
We all knew exactly what they were doing in that final shot of Infinity War.
But now in the new Avengers movie, if you just take these random ones, like you have Nebula and all these other random ones, it's like, oh, same playing field. We all started in the same boat. So this is actually an ensemble.
I get where they're going with that. Now, does that make it a better movie if you have that many points of focus? I don't know.
I think it's going to be hard. And the ones that are the stars are going to get the most time. Loki will be in the front. And when I say the front, it's like it's Loki. Loki season 1 and season 2 was phenomenal. So it's like, how are they not gonna throw Loki in there? And then Simu Liu is gonna be like, how do I fight?
Yeah, it's weird to like step out of the MCU. Who's just like the biggest box office star of like the new wave of Avengers? Like we think of Benedict Cumberbatch as this leader figure, but like if you were to ask someone on the street who's the bigger star, Florence Pugh or Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't know. You might get mixed answers.
But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's definitely Doctor Strange. I mean, out of all these, you gotta get Spider-Man. Once you got Tom Holland Spider-Man in it, then you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying that when you take these guys out of the MCU, like Chris Hemsworth is a great example. You put Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa. Furiosa did not do great in the opening weekend box office. Chris Hemsworth was put in these Extraction movies, in the 2016 Ghostbusters movies. And not saying he's not great in these movies. He is fantastic in all of these movies. It's just like people don't line up to see him unless he's Thor.
It's also that debate of like, are you a superstar or are you an actor? It was like a debate that was really brought up by Matt Smith. He was the one that was like, you're either a superstar or you're an actor. And he was going through like who's actors and who's superstars. And I was like, yeah, I guess you can be the one that gets to argue who's an actor and who's a superstar, but it's kind of me.
We should read the Hollywood Reporter's article. This is by Boris Kitt. Here's how they phrase this scoop. This article claims Avengers 5 has been reconceived since originally being slated as Kang Dynasty. And this article says, quote, the development is characterized as very early. Sources say Marvel and Levy are talking about the project and that the studio gave the latest script to the filmmaker late last week. But sources also say that other filmmakers are in the mix for the high-profile gig. Marvel previously and quietly offered the directing gig to Levy mid-March, but at that point the filmmaker turned it down. Scheduling was a concern at the time. Sources say the studio has pushed the film by several months, opening the door of opportunity. So basically they said Deadpool and Wolverine had to finish shooting post-strike. Ryan Reynolds claims shooting ended in January 24th, 2024. Levy is going to be directing at least 2 episodes of the final season of Stranger Things. He wants to have a very, very heavy involvement in the final season of Stranger Things. So a few quick questions I want to ask you before we dig into like whether Levy is the right guy for this job. Do we think that the other director in the mix might be Jordan Peele?
Oh, that'd be insane.
There were just some reports going around this week that like Jordan Peele was having conversations with Marvel Studios, and he's like another high-profile director.
What if he's throwing on Blade? Michael Green's now writing, and now the directing is going to Jordan Peele.
No way.
Watch it happen. They are going to keep switching up Blade so much on us. Watch it happen. That would be very fun, but what an insane thing to throw for Jordan Peele's introduction to the MCU.
It'd be pretty ballsy to do that. I honestly think that story was put out there as leverage against Levy. I'll get to that in a second, but like I honestly, my opinion on Jordan Peele, he's one of our best working directors right now. And specifically what I love about him is that he is making original films that people go out to see. Get Out and Nope and Us were all original stories and people love them. And so few directors are doing that on that scale. And I just want him to keep doing what he's doing.
He could still do like not even a special presentation, but just how Werewolf by Night was. I would love to see a Jordan Peele version. I would love to see him start tackling those darker parts of the MCU. I would love it as a presentation. Easily, just like, ooh, and then ship that out to festivals somehow. I could see him doing something like that, which is still kind of original. He's probably writing it.
Okay, so what I think really happened here, as the Hollywood cynic that I am, and the way the industry and the press have this relationship, and they all are playing parts in a weird house of cards. I think what happened was the Jordan Peele rumors started to go out there, and that was leaked by someone at Marvel. And then the fact that both Deadline and Hollywood Reporter got this story at the same time, and they both thought that they were going to have the exclusive scoop, and they published within minutes of each other, that tells you that this information was leaked directly to them by someone on the inside. And who does this information serve? Does it serve Marvel trying to get like them to say, oh, come on, Shawn Levy, come to the table? I think it was Shawn Levy's team. And Marvel right now is trying to leverage these other high-profile directors against Shawn Levy. Someone on his team leaks it to Hollywood Reporter and Deadline and says, no, we're going to build all this popularity, this excitement around Shawn Levy getting it. And look how excited everyone is because everyone's excited for Deadpool and Wolverine. And then Disney comes to the table and says, all right, Levy, you get the job.
I was on board with you until I thought Shawn Levy's team would be the one to do it. It's a very Hollywood thing to do, 100%. That gamble that the internet would be like, I still want Shawn Levy. is insane to go up against Jordan Peele. I'm more interested in what Jordan Peele would bring.
But I don't think anyone's comparing Peele versus Levy until we're here on this video. I think they waited a couple days to go by. It wasn't really taking hold that like Jordan Peele would be directing Avengers 5. And then once that marketing cycle went on and they knew they wouldn't be compared, because right now it's just Deadpool and Wolverine is like untouchable. Like it's like everything about it goes big.
I was thinking that they brought out the Jordan Peele thing because a lot of people don't recognize that not all directors and their teams know exactly what's going on in Hollywood. They know based off of what the Hollywood Reporter or Variety or someone else drops the day of. So I thought it was brought out to be like, Jordan Peele's being in talks at Marvel, and Shawn's like, oh, I'm not losing to this guy. No, I need to do it just to make him upset.
So let's talk about whether Shawn Levy is the best person for this job. We got to remember originally Avengers 5 was going to be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of Shang-Chi. He walked away from the project as it's gone through different incarnations. You know, Jeff Loveness was originally writing the screenplay for it. Jeff Loveness also wrote Quantumania. Marvel replaced Jeff Loveness, and Michael Waldron is just kind of having a heavier hand writing both the script for Secret Wars and for Avengers 5. There's the Jonathan Majors component of it all. You know, Jonathan Majors was obviously going to be the villain of the Kang Dynasty. It sounds like they're removing the Kang Dynasty from the title of Avengers 5. There's rumors that it might be like Secret Wars Part 1 and 2, or they might have Secret Wars come first and then have some other title for the 6th movie. We'll see exactly. So imagine you're Shawn Levy, you're coming into this project from Deadpool and Wolverine, which is very much like a multiverse story, a crossover event involving the TVA. You put a little Secret Wars comic book in the trailer for the movie, telling people that this is like a possible precursor for Secret Wars. Yes, he's been heavily involved in Stranger Things and Deadpool and Wolverine, but he's been working with Ryan Reynolds. The past couple films that they worked on together include Free Guy and The Atom Project. But before that, he was really known as the guy who's directed like a couple different successful franchise films or just like big studio films. That includes the Night at the Museum trilogy, which were huge hits. In 2010, the movie Date Night. He directed Real Steel. He directed The Internship. This Is Where I Leave You. He had this relationship with Steve Martin directing Cheaper by the Dozen and Pink Panther in the aughts. And then way back when, I think the first movie I saw that he directed was the Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes Big Fat Liar film. With Paul Giamatti. Yeah.
Was
Shawn
Real
Levy directed
Steel
that.
the one with the robots fighting and Hugh Jackman?
Yes. That's where he first started working with Hugh Jackman.
I don't like that movie.
No one liked that movie. Some people like that movie.
Some people.
Not
like
all
that
these movies are good, and not
I
all
think
of them are
they
super
all
successful.
are great, except
but that's
for
a
Real
pretty
Steel.
good rap sheet of films to have on your resume.
Yeah, no, he's making money.
Yeah, and then also, you know, he's attached to like a Star Wars movie. He's just one of these guys who's like made enough hits and has enough connections. So when it comes to Avengers 5, it's currently slated to release May 1st, 2026. Originally, it was going to be, you know, May 2025. They pushed it back. Waldron is writing. Director, we don't know, but Destin Daniel Cretton was originally approached to direct. Jonathan Majors was fired from Marvel in December 2023. So he's not going to be Kang anymore, but it sounds like they are recasting Kang. Because I don't know if you saw this, Jess. This week, Luke James told the Direct that he turned down Marvel Studios. They wanted him to take on the role of Kang, and he said, "Marvel as a whole, yes. Kang the Conqueror, no. But I wouldn't. But I would not take the meeting." It just sounds like he was offered it, or like there was a meeting for him to talk about it, and he was not interested.
Taking that mantle is probably it's going to be exhausting. It's going to be really hard. God knows how long it's going to be until people stop yelling at you online, on the street, everywhere. So I don't know how many people are going to even want to take that role. Maybe they should just get rid of Kang. We here at New Rockstars love one-shot energy, but we also love one-shot focus chews and one-shot voice drops. It just depends on what mood you're in. Oh, I could use a one-shot energy right now. I need a one-shot focus chew.
Need a one-shot voice drop.
One-shot energy chews, one-shot focus chews, and one-shot voice drops are all natural, delicious ways to make it through your day. Stock up on one-shot today by going to oneshotenergy.com/newrockstars for 10% off your order. Wow!
Well, it's also kind of unclear because, you know, in February of this past year, Hollywood Reporter revealed that the film would drop the Kang Dynasty as a subtitle and that Kang the Conqueror's role in the film would either be minimized or excised entirely. That was their quote. So I don't know why you would like still want to do a Kang story if like the role is small enough to where he could be removed entirely from the film. It could be like a multiverse crisis caused by the meddling of Kang, but in that case, do you still need a Kang in the movie? My pitch has always been cast a lot of Kangs.
I thought that's what we were going towards. I thought not like show up with Pedro Pascal and be like, this is the new Kang. I thought it was just gonna continuously be a different Kang every time. And it would just be a different person because Kang is different people.
If it's just like multiverse crisis is the existential threat, the fact that this movie isn't coming out till 2026, I think we gotta do better than that. It has to be something important to the souls of these characters. I think we're all kind of getting a little tired of multiverse.
I am. And I feel bad because it's like, how do you get higher than that? How do you heighten the multiverse? And it seems kind of hard to go backwards. That's why they have the Marvel spotlights. It feels like it's hard to go backwards. So we're going to have a different subsection that's for grounded New York things that are happening. I'm watching the grounded New York stuff because I am kind of getting sick of the multiverse. Unless you're going to show me like America Chavez going into ones and we physically interacting with it, then I will watch it. But right now, we're not doing that shit.
Like, I know we already tried to do a Doctor Strange multiverse movie, and it wasn't really a multiverse story. But I think there are questions one could ask if they had the balls to do it, which is, can we have some of these Avengers characters confront the idea that their existence represents a flaw? Like, that their existence is wrong, and that the only way to fix things would be to erase them from reality.
Oh, I would love that.
But will they go through with something like that?
No, of course not, because that means they have to erase themselves from the multiverse.
Like, yeah, erase themselves from all of reality, or they have to, like, face this abyss. I mean, hey, look, Disney's done it before. Toy Story 3 had them all going into the furnace.
Pixar handles death a lot, though. Pixar's like, hey, Coco, here's the entire underworld.
They also just love killing off, like, 20% of their employees, too. Right before a movie comes out.
You're not wrong. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the fucking
So
lie?
let's talk about Shawn Levy. I know we keep saying Shawn Levy, but do we think Shawn Levy was hired because of his connections or because like of his narrative take on Avengers 5 and Secret Wars? Do they just cast this guy because he's a guy who knows everyone?
I will say 45% of it is absolutely his connections. And not saying it's in a negative way. It's nice having those connections because you're on a movie for God knows how long, always having to keep everyone energetic and happy. And God forbid you're on the movie that has 60 people with the most insane egos. And this man has been working around celebrities like that since day one. He has been, not egos, but a lot at once. Even Cheaper by the Dozen had like 12 of them. So I'm literally like, this guy's probably really good and friendly and very conscious of like time with every actor. It's probably great to have him on it. If Deadpool and Wolverine proves to be like a lot of money, they're probably like, you take the story. You go ahead, do what you guys want to do.
I have to imagine they're confident with their script. They're okay with their story. They know what they want to do with the story. It's just of a scale and needs certain cameos in it that they need a director with a certain amount of muscle.
And he also has their respect because he's worked with a lot of them before.
And also, we're talking about two movies here. We're talking about Avengers 5 and Secret Wars, which currently are two movies, but I assume at San Diego Comic-Con in July, we'll get a confirmation on what exactly these movies are and who's directing them.
Can you imagine in Avengers 5, Shawn is like, improv it.
Get Taika in there too.
He would. Oh my God, he would find a way to bring Korg in at least. He absolutely would bring Korg back. That's what we should think about too. Who his close friends are, because that's who he's gonna put in it, who are already in the MCU. They're gonna show up regardless. He's like, I don't care.
It's just gonna be Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi just improvising, and they're gonna turn to Robert Downey Jr. and they're like, hey, you ad-libbed in Iron Man. And he's like, I've worked with Christopher Nolan now, and I just want a perfect script.
I have an Academy Award.
I don't improv anymore.
We get it, Robert. We get it. You're still Tony Stark, even when you try not to be.
So let's talk about next week on New Rockstars. We have a very busy week. I hope you all watched the first two episodes of The Acolyte. It's actually pretty good. The negative bullshit and the culture wars that were happening on social media, it's all for nonsense because the show itself is fun. And I have now, as of this taping, seen episode 3. And I can tell you, It answers some questions right away. The answers were not at all what I expected in a good way. I really like the world building that they do on this show. I think people are going to like it. Maybe some people won't, but I dug it. I thought it was cool. So that's coming out on Wednesday morning. We put together a compilation of every episode breakdown of House of the Dragon season 1. And we edited it to remove anything that might be a spoiler for this next season. We just wanted a place where everyone could just recap everything with one long video, find it all in one place so you don't have to figure out a playlist because we just didn't organize playlists back then. And we feel one long video just all in one place. If you've already seen them, don't want to rewatch them, you don't have to watch it, but it's just nice to have that there and we could direct people to that video. So that will catch you back up for where things are headed for season 2 for House of the Dragon, because next Sunday night, the 16th, we'll have our break room after show for House of the Dragon season 2 premiere. And then on Monday, we'll have me doing the Easter egg breakdown for House of the Dragon season 2 premiere on the new Rockstars channel. Jessica, are you going to break down Bad Boys Ride or Die?
I hope. I hope. Let me know in the comments right now if you guys want me to break down Bad Boys. Let me know if you guys want a full breakdown of every Bad Boys movie.
Wait, hold on. This turned into a whole rewatch series?
It's a rewatch series, but no, we'll do it in one. So it'll be just 1 hour long breakdown, which tell me if you guys want a 1 hour breakdown of all the Bad Boys movies. You let me know.
I believe on Friday, you'll be able to see my breakdown of Inside Out 2. There's a lot of really fun attention to detail in that film. Keep an eye out for that. Oh, and then on Thursday, The Boys season 4, episode 1, 2, and 3. One video. Jessica will do all of them in one huge freaking long video, but it's so good.
I think that video is an hour. Maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah, good, as it should be. So I'm excited to see your breakdown.
Thank you.
I've looked at the script. I'm just excited to see it all come together.
I have not seen it yet, but I'm sure a lot of it is blurred out because there's some scenes.
Yeah.
There's some scenes.
It's super
There's
violent
There's some
disgusting.
scenes that are violent, and there's some scenes that are grotesquely rated R.
Oh me, oh my.
Oh me, oh my,
my.
oh my.
All right, we've arrived at that segment where we talk about things that we don't normally talk about on New Rockstars, and we call it What We're Watching.
I didn't do it that time.
I'm doing 2 for both of us. Oh, still going. Uh-oh.
Thank you.
What are you watching this week, Jess?
That's a good question. I've been going to sleep with every light off in my house in silence. So I haven't been really watching anything. What happens is I get home from a long day of working and I'd go to Tubi and I'll put on Pawn Stars. Last week it was Storage Wars. And then before that it was Dance Moms. I think I'm just going through all those shows that are bad. And it's such a break from what we do. Pawn Stars and Storage Wars is not high class.
Hey, we don't need to be snobs about this stuff. It's good quality meat and potatoes TV.
I wouldn't even say that. I would not say that, but it is entertaining, and I think I'm better than everybody on every one of those shows. And when I say better, I mean better at doing the show. I think I would be
just a better human being.
Genuinely, sometimes. Some of the people on the shows are very mean people and very problematic. But when it comes to guessing how much is in a storage, I think I'm really good at it. I've been pretty good. What are you watching?
Kelly and I have been going back through The Sopranos.
Oh my God, no.
I've seen all the way through, but that was 10 years ago, and Kelly had only seen the first season. Man, that show's so damn good.
I watched it the one time all the way through, and I don't think I have the emotional stability to do it again.
I
love it though. I love Sopranos, but it's betrayal. Cheating, horrible, murder.
People doing rotten stuff.
Yeah, horrible
and you
people.
Still kind of root for them. When I'm rewatching it now, I noticed this the first time I watched it, but just Edie Falco as Carmela Soprano
yes, girl.
might be doing a better performance than anyone else in the show. And I know that's a high bar because Gandolfini gives a performance of a lifetime as Tony Soprano, but just little things that Edie Falco does, I think that's a harder character to play in some ways because she has to be a voice of reason and kind of a moral compass in a way, but she's also really trashy. And she's also a mob wife and plays that part.
When those two fight, I'm this ain't fake. I said, where's the cameras? I said, where's the cameras? That show, when they are at it, I'm turn this shit off. I'm I'm watching a real family fight. I can't do this shit. Also, the son's weird as hell, and I can't watch him again.
Dude, the kids?
The kids are the worst.
Meadow and
kids are
AJ,
the
I think
worst.
the best written kids on any TV show
Dude,
ever.
the
Because
kids are the
that's
worst.
the issue, whether it's Breaking Bad or The Americans or Homeland. Anytime you write teenagers in these like crime drama prestige TV shows, like the writing just always suffers. The kids just come off as like annoying, or they talk like adults. Like on Modern Family, those kids are just like, they're all Mitch. They all just have the same kind of joke caliber as the adults do. The Sopranos, like they do such a good job with AJ where he's just like, doesn't have an answer sometimes. And he just kind of stares
I
blankly.
hate
and I'm
him. I
but
can't
that's how kids
stand
are.
him.
That's how
he goes,
teenagers
he
are.
calls,
They're just kind of
he
dumb.
calls her a bitch, and then when the dad comes, he's like, I didn't say that. It's like, I'm going to strangle this boy right now.
The way Meadow is just so like such a know-it-all, and she's like lecturing her parents on stuff that she doesn't really fully
She doesn't
understand.
even know.
That's
She
how
does
high
not
school
know.
seniors are.
I don't mind her as much because she also deals with like being a woman in this world too much, and it makes me sad. But AJ, I just can't stand him. It
He
triggers
has
me.
one of the best character arcs on this show. I think
Does
both those
he?
kids.
That kid was weird as hell. Sorry, maybe I'm stuck on like a couple things that kid did that I did not like. I will never forget it.
Yeah, he's weird, but like, kid, imagine if you're a mobster's son, you're gonna be weird.
You're gonna be weird.
I love all these shows. I love Breaking Bad. I love Mad Men. But on all of them, like anytime there's scenes with the kids, something with like the actor just like didn't really age into the role, or just the writing for the characters just like weird. It's always like, I don't want to hear this kid right now. But The Sopranos is the one show that
You're
breaks
like,
the
now
norm.
these are kids.
I love the AJ and Meadow scenes. I think they're so funny.
Oh my god, those kids. Ugh, I'm glad you're watching The Sopranos.
And they have a podcast now, by the
Oh,
way.
do they?
And I need to start listening to that podcast.
I should.
Yeah, the actors.
I only want to watch it to relive the finale again and actually understand it and live it as an adult versus a 16-year-old that watched it. When I was 16, I was like, what's going on here? But now as an adult, I was like, I think I need to rewatch every episode, come back to this cumulative moment where it turns off.
I think the finale is perfect.
I know.
I controversial, you know that.
No,
I think it's
no,
perfect.
I know, but like I love it. I love it now, but I still have not rewatched every episode. I want to eat it and then finish it again.
I think it's perfect, but it's also like a lot of the people who are watching that finale were never going to understand. Like, so he was really making that finale for his own writers and for like the super fans who are gauging film analysis questions. I think he was making it for the people who like the dream episodes. And I think most of the people who were watching Sopranos in 2007 liked the mobster stuff.
What the f*** is that? What is this?
So they were
bullshit?
like, the hell am I watching? So I get the negative reaction because the audience was just pretty unwieldy at that point.
My mom watched it and went, yep. I can also see other people being like, what the f*** was this? Then my TV turned off? What's the credits running?
Can we record your mom reacting to everything that we cover and just include it in the corner?
If you want
as
it.
we're
My
talking
mom
about it?
called me today on speakerphone with Brandon in the office. And first time Brandon, people heard my mom's voice and she sounds exactly like me. And we have the exact same mannerisms. And she went, Jessica. And I went, what? And she went, HBO Max kicked me off. And I went, okay. She said, is it doing that? Like Netflix? And I go, I don't know. I said, I don't know. And she's like, those motherfuckers got me again. And Brandon was like, oh my God. She was like, don't tell everybody my business. And here I am. And leave it in. Leave it in. I want everybody to know what my mom calls me about.
Because you know what? I bet there's a lot of people who are going through that too.
Yes.
They're all annoyed with this price upping that they're
Let
doing.
my mom just use my passwords. She lives alone. She just needs the password with her cat.
We should allow password sharing with one person.
With my
I think that's what we should do.
mom.
One person not in your domicile. Just one person.
I don't know why
That's
they
it.
do. My mom, and I'm not buying her a separate subscription. That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
They're crazy.
Especially Max.
I'm moving
who is
to
like,
Canada.
It's like the worst bang for your buck of all the different streaming platforms.
I was like, what are you watching? She said, I want to make sure The Last of Us hasn't come on. I was like, you think I would tell you that The Last of Us is on? I was like, why are you?
We got a while for the last one.
Yeah, exactly. I was so confused by that. I was like, what are you doing? There's nothing on there except for house flipping. I watched an otter show called Otter Dynasty. It was very entertaining. It's about Chinese otters, and they had narrations for each of the otters, and they were in love, but one was a princess that ran away. It's real. It's a documentary. Remember the one about the
princess?
Yes. Okay. Remember on the Animal Channel, they had the Meerkat Manor. It's like that, but for these otters.
Because it sounds like people are just like playing dolls with these otters.
Yes.
And be like, this one's
Yes.
a princess.
Yep.
And this is her prince.
Yep. They're just not physically touching them. That is exactly the story. And my little icon for HBO is one of the otters.
Ours are like Dobby.
Gross. Filthy.
I agree. Dobby's the worst character in Harry Potter.
Yes!
And I think the only thing I'm not looking forward to about the return of the Harry Potter series on Max sometime in the future, other than the author now having an even bigger platform to spew her bullshit, the fact that we're going to spend more time with Dobby and with Spew, because I thought that was a great cut for the movies, was Spew. Makes Spew stupid. I don't care about it.
God.
And now because they got to fill 10 episodes for each of this season, we're going to get like 3 episodes about Spew.
People in the
in
comments are
whatever
mad
that
at
is,
you
season
right
4 or
now
5.
because they want Spew and Dobby.
Yeah, but those people are stupid. Anybody who likes Spew when they're reading the Harry
Why
Potter
do
books
you
are
hate
idiots.
Spew so much?
Because it's stupid. It's boring.
Well, too
It is
bad. Now
the
you got a
most-
full episode for Dobby and Spew.
They're going to announce a spinoff, a Spew spinoff.
And
It's
it's-
going to be Agents of Spew.
Oh, then I'll watch it.
There's going to be people coming after me like, now we know for sure that Eric's anti-union because he hates Spew. If there was a union subplot of wizards, or like if there was like a teachers union at Hogwarts, I would be very interested in that. Is Trelawney in the teachers union?
No, there's no
If Dumbledore just gave
union.
her the job? They should be unionized. They do specialized work. We'll leave it there. Comment down below with your thoughts. Let us know what you are watching. And do you think Shawn Levy is the guy for the job for Avengers 5? Follow Jessica at Lulu_Clemons. Follow me at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars, all 3 channels in the New Rockstars network. New Rockstars, The Deep Dive in the Break Room for news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.